Hey, what's up, Diamond Gang? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, we're going to go over to Fox News, and this is in the state of California. It says California reparations panel approves payments up to 1.2 million to every black resident. I will list the article right in all of the details in the description as I always do. And it says the California Reparations Task Force formally recommended that the state offer payments up to 1.2 million to every qualifying black resident. The task force held a public meeting in Oakland, California on Saturday and voted on the final set of recommendations to be sent to the state's legislators. The 9-member panel called on the state to offer its black residents a formal apology in addition to the payments. Reparations are not only morally injustifiable, but they are the potential it has the potential, to address long-standing racial disparities and inequalities. Representative Barbara Lee, Democrat from California, said after attending the meeting. The panel's recommendations break down by types of historical discrimination. For instance, black residents affected by redlining by banks would receive $3,366 for each year they lived in California from the early 1930s to the late 1970s, amounting to up to 148,000, well, a little bit over 148,000. Okay. Uh, similarly, black residents could receive roughly $2,352 in compensation for over-policing and mass incarceration for each year they lived in California between 1970 and 2020. Those payments could amount up to 115,000, a little over 115,000. In total, from these and other payments included in the plan, a black California resident who is 71 years old and lived in California his/her or entire life could receive up to 1.2 million, according to analysts from the New York Times. Okay. The panel's Saturday vote included only recommendations for the state legislature and does not have any legal weight. Saturday's meeting included opposition from some black residents demanding larger payments. An activist identified as Rev. Tony Pierce was one of the more outspoken people at the gathering, making reference to the infamous 40 acres and a mule promised to the former slaves when he took the podium. Okay? And I will play a little bit of that. I will also link that in the description if you want to see more of that. So, without further ado, let's see what the conversation is about.
I'm pleading that we not let this happen.
I want them out. I want that contingent out.
You keep trying to talk about now, yet you research back to slavery and you say nothing about slavery. Nothing. So the equivocal number from the 1860s for 40 acres today is $200 million for each and every African American. You're not supposed to be afraid. You're not supposed to be afraid. You're just supposed to tell the truth. You're not supposed to be the gatekeepers. You're supposed to say what the people want and hear from the people.
This $1 million we're hearing on the news.
Okay, and I'm not going to go into further detail with that. I just played a little clip of it, but I will definitely link it in the description so you can go check that out yourself. Okay? And this is just basically saying what the gentleman was speaking of in the clip. You can go check that out. I will have it linked. It says most people who spoke at Saturday's meeting spoke in support of reparations, despite such agreements, however, sparked feud throughout the chaotic, emotionally charged gathering as arguments broke out. Indeed, many attendees spoke out of turn and interrupted each other, leading Kamala Moore, the task force chair, to call for security to remove people multiple times. The draft recommendation noted that the California entered the Union as a free state in 1850, but said that it did not pass laws at the time to guarantee freedom. The recommendation pointed out that for a decade after emancipation, California continued to allow the enforcement of Fugitive Slaves Act, which called for the capture and return of runaway slaves. Okay, so that's a little bit of history. All right, and that is the end of the article right there. Um, Basically, they have been doing this for about, uh, well, I've been aware of it for about maybe like a year or so. And there's definitely been other states. I've did videos on other states that have tried to do the same thing. um, Sadly, nothing has came of that. uh, so I'm very interested to see how this would pan out. It would definitely set a precedent for other states to model from it. um, and they have to send it to the legislator. So, that's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we can give everybody else payment for their pain and suffering and workmen camps and the Holocaust and everything, but we still sitting out here having panels that even be considered to even put a dent in reparations for people of color, African Americans, um, the original Indians, uh, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, it's really interesting to see. I hope that the legislator will take it seriously and not table this recommendation and give it some serious thought. If they are truly in the business of healing wounds and bridging the gap between government and state, police and public, the disparities, and all of the things, injustices that have happened, this would be a good stepping stone. Even though, as the man said in the clip, it is a bit watered down, it is a little bit of gatekeeping, you know, um, other ethnic groups didn't have to fight this hard to, you know, get reparations, which they're still receiving to this day, mind you. So, um, either they're going to take it seriously or they're going to give us the big middle finger like they've been doing for the last, couple of, hundreds of years and, decades and so. But I would definitely like to know what you think about this. Please join me down in the comments section and shop it up with me. I would definitely love to hear from you. Get your opinion on it. And thank you so much for watching my video. I truly do appreciate you for doing that and showing love and commenting down in the comment section, whether it's positive or negative. I appreciate all of it. And until the next time, you guys, I will get with you in the